Hello, Creative Tartanites. How are you? I decided that I was going to do an impromptu live tonight. I hope you are all well. I hope you can all see me okay. Hello, Mona. Hello, how are you? Can you hear me okay? And I'm seeing that I'm going in and out of an okay... there we are, we're on green and it seems to be staying on green now. Hello, Angie. Hi there. Hi, good evening. Well, it's good evening for me. It's just after 7:30 in the evening. Now, I'm just wondering, how is this stream? Because it doesn't seem that particularly stable, I have to say. There seems to be a bit of buffering. But let me know if you have any problems with it. Hopefully it will settle. So I've been hello Helen, hi. I've been kind of promising to go live a bit more often, and life and things in general have really been getting in the way. I've been working a lot on Fridays, and I've just not really you're getting a bit of buffering. Okay, well, hopefully it'll settle, but if it doesn't settle, then I can cancel this and try again if it's not going to settle. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will settle. So yes, I've been determined to be a bit more proactive and actually schedule lives, and then I've ended up being working on a Friday, and it's just been really difficult for me to actually get scheduling, and I was almost putting off see, it's gone red again. It's not a particularly good stream tonight. So I'm in two minds. I'm kind of wondering whether to... Is it okay for you guys? I know it's buffering, but is it really bad? Would you like me to stop and try again? You guys tell me. Or shall we battle on? Anyway, it's not too bad. Okay, so we'll battle on then. We'll carry on. My plan is really going on from... You remember the last time I went live and I did... See, it keeps going red and amber and then it goes green. Okay, it's not bad. Right. Okay, we'll go with this then. Right, okay. So, do you remember we did clouds? And I promised that we would do something else. Well, this is what I'm planning to do this evening. It's another exercise in really just painting quite loosely, and it's very simple, really easy for beginners, and so... And in fact, it just occurred to me, this is not the title. I'm going to have to change the title and everything. Right. Anyway, I'll do that after the stream. I've still got last week's... the last lives up. I'm a bit scatterbrained. I've been working a lot. I was on an early shift today, and I went to go live and completely forgot that my son had changed my computer, so I've been frantically trying to get things so that I can actually get live, and I completely forgot to change the settings for the live from the last time I was live. So my apologies. Yeah, I'm just a bit scattered. Anyway, so that is the plans. This is the painting. This is the painting that I am going to demonstrate tonight. I'm going to do it obviously live. Really kind of walk through the different steps. It's very, very easy, very, very beginner friendly. Anybody can do this. So my apologies to Michael Ann. Huge, sincere apology for not actually scheduling this. But I know that you wanted to do a paint along. So if you have missed this live, I'm so sorry. But at least it will be available for you to go back and watch, and you can still do the paint along. So really we're going to be looking at requiring some blues. I really don't care what blue you use. I'm going to demonstrate the 3 blues that I have and show you the kinds of colours and how they work in a sky within this sky. And I will demonstrate again clouds. I'm so glad that scatterbrained works for you, because I am one of the biggest scatterbrains sometimes, particularly when I'm doing things off the cuff and trying to get things done in a hurry. And as I said, truth be known, I almost postponed again so that I can actually schedule the live, and I thought, do you know, if I did that, I would probably end up putting it off again. So I said to myself, no more putting it off. Yes, I have been out working. Yes, I wasn't feeling great when I got back in from work because I was really tired, but I had something to eat, and that seems to have kind of sort of settled me down a little. Oh, right. Shall I end this stream and try another one? I'm more than happy to end this stream and try another one if that's what you guys want. It does keep going green and then red and then amber and then back to green again. So it is rather infuriating, but I'm more than happy to try a different stream if you like. But I wonder if it's got something to do with the actual... I'm good either way. Right, okay. Well, see, I'm afraid that if I cut off, it'll not give me another good stream. And because I think it might be the time of day it is. Maybe. I don't know. Is it particularly busy at this time for people going live? Possibly. So I think we'll risk it for a biscuit. If it gets really, really, really bad, completely unwatchable, I'll keep an eye on the comments, and I will then try another one. But it seems to be staying at green for now. Fingers crossed. Right, I'm going to move the camera. So, just clipping it in now. Okay, are we ready? Ta-da! It's not quite on the paper yet, but we're getting there. Okay. Oh, no, don't disappear. There we go. Sorry guys. Now my camera's deciding to... There we go. Play silly with me now. Okay. Ta-da! Hello Denise. Hello. Welcome. How are you this evening? Right, let's get... Oh, sorry. Let's get the the mic a little bit closer to me. There we go. Let's see if I can get this camera to stop bouncing. There we go. Okay, I think we're done. Fantastic, Denise. I'm glad that you're great. And hello, Laura. I don't think I did acknowledge you, but I didn't think I actually said hello. Bouncy, bouncy. Yes. Don't like bouncy, bouncy. People get sick. People feel sick. So don't like bouncy, bouncy. Right. Okay. I'm going to grab a few brushes. These are the brushes I'm going to use. I've got my Jackson's Shinku synthetic brush, size 8. It's a bright. And I've got my cat's tongue, size 4 and 8, and I've also got this Procryl, which is again by Jackson's and size 6. So got 2 flat brushes and 2 cat's tongues. The paints that I'm going to use are going to be ultramarine. Oh, and we're back to red again. It's infuriating. And we're back to green. Yay! It's like a disco. I'm having a disco this evening. I so hope you guys can see this. If it goes Pete Tong, so in completely wrong, then what I'll do is I'll just have to try again another time and do a live, either that or I will record it and put it up and do it as a premiere, and then that way I can see all you guys, all your comments and things, so I will be able to type responses. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this will work out. I have my trusty palette, and so I'm going to use my student paints tonight because I'm keeping this very beginner friendly. So I've got Winsor & Newton Galleria Ultramarine. This isn't a student paint, but this is a soft-bodied paint. This is cerulean blue. I do not have this in student paint, so I'm going to use this today. And if I can find my phthalo blue, okay. I can't find my student phthalo blue, so I'm going to use my golden phthalo blue. Okay. Now, I'm not suggesting that everybody tries all three. I'm just using all three today so everybody can see the of results that I get from the different colours of paint. Angie says Premiere would be nice if this goes wonky. Fantastic. Excellent. So behave, YouTube. I'm being nice, so be nice to me. So I've got a little bit of phthalo blue. I'm connecting. Reconnection successful. Okay, this is infuriating, but I'll keep going. I should be back. I am back. Hi, Katie. Or Carrie. Sorry if it's Carrie. Am I back? Am I back? According to the stream, I'm live and it's green. So I should be back. Yay! Hopefully I stay back. This is infuriating. To be honest, I'm going to have a word with my son because he changed one of my drives, and I asked him to, and he knows what he's doing, but I wonder if it's to do with the fact that there's something being changed, maybe the fact that I've maybe got a bit too much on my computer now, and that perhaps it's because I haven't cleaned out the files that I said I was going to clean out. But I'm going to... he's not in trouble at all, Angie. But I'm going to have to get advice from him, I think, because he did say to me, when I asked him before about it, he did say to me to reboot my actual router, and I haven't actually done that yet either, so that might also be an option that I could potentially do. But to be fair, I was on live on Facebook the other day on my iPad, and it worked absolutely fine. So I'm not so sure it's the router. I think it's the computer. So anyway, right, let's get some white out. Where is the white? Okay, I'm putting out some golden titanium white. Just going to use my cloth to actually get a grip of the lid and take it off. And pop the white out. So that's the white out. So we've got the sky. And then I'm going to take the cat's tongue. YouTube is just jealous you went on Facebook. Now that could be it. Dun dun dun. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Right, so I've got the three blues. Okay, you can see the difference. This is the phthalo blue, this is the cerulean blue, and this is the ultramarine blue. So you can see the differences. I'm going to start off with the phthalo blue. With the white. So there's going to be plenty of white because it's going to be a nice, so there you go, see, it's going to be a nice light blue. And I'm literally just going to slap it on. So I've got my hand further back the handle. Remember, this is a lesson in doing it loosely. So just relax your wrist and just put on the paint. Now, I might just give my paper a little bit of a spritz just because it's really dry. So what's the weather like with everybody else? It's been pretty very changeable here in Scotland. I was at work and it was nice and sunny, and I was like really warm in my office, and then the clouds came, and then it was cold, and then it was raining, so I ended up getting a little wet, you know, as I was getting home from work. So that's giving you an indication of the light blue. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab a little bit of the phthalo blue, and I'm going to show you the kind of light blue that we can get with that. So can you see the difference? So I'm going to actually put this blue up the top here, because you know me, I like layers. And sometimes the sky is a little bit darker up the top. So can you see, I don't know if you can see the difference on the camera, but you can certainly see the difference when it's on the palette. One of the other things I'm now going to do is I'm going to get a bit of the ultramarine blue. I'm going to clean my brush. And I'm going to show you the kind of light blue that you get. So there's the ultramarine blue. So it's kind of almost like a lilac, isn't it? But again, you know, that can still be... See, I can see the difference, but I don't think it's showing on camera. Oh, maybe a little bit. It's a little bit more lilac-y. So if I kind of sort of put it down, maybe you can see the difference there. So we're really just slapping the paint down. So let me see if I can lift that. I'm just keeping checking. Okay. Let me just lift this up and see. Oh, right. Can you see the different paints there? So let me see if I can free up. There we go. See if I can free up a hand. So there's the ultramarine. There's the phthalo blue with the white up there, and you can see the cerulean blue. So, you know, if you've got all three, then by all means use whichever ones that you want to use. You can use a combination of all three, or you can just simply just pick what's your favourite. It's entirely up to you. It's your painting. There are no rules, and we are just wanting to get the paint down on the paper. So I'm going to go back to the cerulean blue again because I like that one. Now that's a little bit dark, so I'm just going to add a little more white into that because I want it to be really very powdery blue. But I also like splodges of the ultramarine blue as well. Yeah, but I think Prussian blue would be quite nice. It's not one that I've got, but yeah, Prussian blue probably would be nice. But ultimately, you can make the sky whatever colour you want. You can even put in pinks if you wanted to. But the cerulean blue, that's a particularly good blue for getting a really nice light powder blue. Nice summer days blue. So I'm really just covering the paper at the moment. As I said, I like my layers. And I think the addition of a little bit of the ultramarine blue is actually quite nice. Okay. Just making sure that all the paper is covered. So how are we doing? Well, Mona, you certainly have all the blues, don't you? Lots of blues. Lots of pretty blues. So I guess the point I'm making here with regards to this is you pick what blue you want to pick. If you want to add a little bit of pink in your sky, by all means you do that. This is your painting. And you can see I'm not being neat because I'm going for that painterly look. It's looking a lot darker on the screen than it actually is, but that's okay. Next up, I am going to start looking at doing the clouds. Now, with the clouds, I might do a little bit of the darker, a bit of ultramarine, and I'm just going to scumble some clouds on. I'm not really, I mean, you can use a reference if you want to. I'm not really paying that much attention to where they're going, but I am kind of spacing them out a little bit, sort of deliberate, so that it's a little bit even. I know clouds aren't even, but I don't want it to sort of become overwhelmed on this painting because there are too many clouds. I might try doing a little bit of the blue on the underside. This is the cerulean blue. As you can see, I'm just scumbling them, and I'm just checking the yes, magenta is nice. Magenta is nice in the sky, and I'm going to mix in probably a little bit of the phthalo blue as well. Why not? And then maybe go back to the ultramarine blue again. And like before, I'm really looking to get lots of layers in here. Don't be afraid to kind of go in and mix on the page if you need to. So adding loads of white and then just adding a little bit of the colour that you want to add. So how are we doing so far? Is this something that you think that you might like to have a go at? As you can see, I'm just putting different layers on, because sometimes we've got shadows further up, sometimes we've got the shadows in the middle, but because we're layering it, that's what makes the difference. I think I'll put one more cloud down the bottom here. Denise says that she loves doing clouds. Fantastic! But I do not love practicing my tree branches. Well, you know, sometimes we find things that we enjoy doing, and then other times we're like, oh no, not that. And I'm just going backwards and forwards from the white to the colours, back to the white again. So let me bring this a little bit closer to see if you can see it a little bit better. Oh, right, where are we? There we go. So do you see that? Is that helpful? There we go. Now, notice that I haven't actually greyed this up. I've used the blues to do some of the shadows within the clouds. I could have got a little bit of burnt umber, and that could have grade it a little bit if I wanted to. But I chose not to. And these are my little wispy ones. So I've just taken some white and I'm just skimming the paper. So that really gives those, you know, when you see them, that they're those lines. Denise is saying your sky is lovely, simple but so realistic. Thank you, Denise. Thank you very much. So what I need to do now is allow this to dry, because I'm going to add my balloon. And if I add my balloon whilst the clouds are still wet, like I can see these are, because this one's still wet, I can see there's still wet paint there and here, it's going to ruin my clouds. I want the balloon to be in front of the clouds, not merged into the clouds. So I think, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a moment just now and I'm going to turn round. I'm here. And I'm going to answer any questions that anybody... Oh, sorry. I've just knocked the camera. I'm going to answer, maybe I should pop that over a little bit like that. There we go, that's better. It's a bit closer now. Why did I not think of that sooner? Mona says, oh, I almost forgot about the balloon. Yes. Susan, hello Susan. Susan's saying hello to Mona and saying that she gets around this YouTube city. She certainly does, Susan. She is one of the most supportive artists of other artists I've met. I mean, I've met lots of supportive artists of other artists, but certainly Mona is, in that list of most supportive of other artists. And I certainly find it a pleasure and a privilege to support Mona. Mona has her own YouTube channel, and I love her to bits. And I really appreciate all the hard work that she puts into helping me out here. So a very warm welcome to you, Susan. Okay, so this is your very first time seeing one of my lives. Well, a very warm welcome, as I said, and I really do hope that you can, first of all, understand me with my Scottish accent, and second of all, I hope that you enjoy watching. We're a lovely bunch here. We do like to have a laugh. As I said, I'm just allowing this to dry at the moment, and I thought it would make a really good chance for people to ask me any questions. It can be anything. Think about some of the things that we've talked about in the lives, or if you're new here, Susan, if there's anything that you would like to know about me in particular as an artist, then please do feel free to ask. This is your chance. And if anybody's watching on the replay right now, not at this moment in time because I'm still live, but if anybody's watching in the future at the replay and have got to this point, thank you so much. I adore you. And please leave me any questions that you have or thoughts or suggestions in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And if you haven't already done so, please give me the thumbs up. It really does help to show YouTube that I'm worth watching, and that would be awesome. In fact, I'm now that I've said that out loud, that sounds really self-centered, and I don't mean it to be. Oh, I thank you very much, Susan. Susan's saying that she really enjoyed my portraits. Oh, sorry, no, I do apologise. I've read that wrong. Susan says, I really enjoy painting. So you enjoy painting portraits. My apologies, Susan. That's fantastic, because I love painting portraits myself. I've literally just finished a portrait. I didn't record it because this was purely for me and for a competition. But this is the portrait that I have just finished. So you're a girl after my own heart. I love portraits. Mona says, I was the one that said you are a great portrait artist, Tanya. Oh, thank you. Denise is saying, asking me, will you paint one of your photos or vacation or any photos you took? Well, funny you should ask that, Denise. Because I have actually taken a photograph of myself and turned it into a bit of a composite photograph. So in other words, it's not really a photograph of me because I'm not actually a genie, but I have used Photoshop and turned me into a genie. And let me just grab this if I can. It is also featured on my Instagram account, but I am painting this painting. So this is a work in progress. As you can see, it's not finished, but this is one of my photographs. The other time that I have actually painted one of my photographs, there is actually a YouTube video that I did on my channel. It is a painting of a seascape photograph that I took. So yes, I have done, I will do, and I will probably do in the future. Now, excuse me, Susan is asking how long have I been painting. Well, I used to paint and draw when I was at the high school. I did my O grade art, so I do have a high school qualification in art. However, shortly after I left school, I kind of lost my confidence. I'd wanted to go to art school, was kind of convinced that I had to be the best of the best. So as a teenager, all I heard was, you're not good enough to go to art school. And so I lost my confidence, stopped doing any kind of art. Still a little bit creative as the years rolled on. Eventually, as an adult, I learned how to crochet and knit and things, got into scrapbooking, and then eventually got back to painting. So really, I've only been back painting probably the last 4 years. So not that long back painting again, but I guess I haven't really lost a lot of what I knew as a teenager, and I've slowly been getting back. Exactly, it is. It's exactly why we should follow our hearts and not other people's opinions. However, sometimes, it is very difficult as a young woman who, depending on our circumstances, it's not so much that I was necessarily following someone else's opinion, but it's that it's very difficult as a teenager to fully appreciate that, and as an adult now, I can be more confident, and and I hope to help others who may have been in the same position as me, to actually be a little bit more willing to ignore what other people are saying, and as you say, follow their dreams. So, and Mona's saying that she was just as unsure when I was young. Yes, it's such a difficult thing, and of course, when I was a teenager, we didn't have the internet, as as many possibly here are the same. It was, this was someone who I looked up to, who was an artist themselves, and to be fair to them, they didn't actually tell me that I wasn't good enough. That was my own fears and my own insecurities. But unfortunately, that there wasn't, whilst there isn't that much support necessarily for arts now, there's an awful lot more support for arts now than there was when I was a teenager. And so, it's, we didn't have, I didn't have support at that point. I didn't have, the other side of things. So yeah, it's tough when you're a teenager, to be able to learn how to be confident in your own abilities. And so hopefully, I'm not just encouraging adults to be more artistic and follow their dreams. But I'm hoping that there may be some younger artists who happen to come across me and hear my story and feel that they could, that's still tacky, feel that they could perhaps learn something from me. So hopefully that's answered your question, Susan. Susan's saying, these videos from all the people doing them help so many people in so many ways, encouraging for many. Yes, absolutely. YouTube is just a wealth of information. It's amazing just how much information is actually out there. And I certainly have my followers that I enjoy following. I admire Cinnamon, who's the Art Sherpa, and I'm one of the Art Sherpa's design team members as well. So, I have a lot of people who support me right now. Susan says it's not only art you help, it's also depression and many other ways. Yeah, yes, Susan, absolutely. And, art is very therapeutic, and there's loads and loads of different reasons why art is therapeutic. Hello, Dina. Hiya. Hello. Welcome. So there's lots and lots of different reasons why art is so therapeutic, because obviously this isn't the case for absolutely everybody because everybody's individual, but in general, as a whole, we as a society, for some reason, we have become very insular. We don't really engage with life the same as we used to. People don't have the hobbies, they don't seem to have purpose in their life. And so they have lots of time to ruminate, to think about the things that have gone wrong in their life, and then worry about what potentially could happen in their life. So there's that, there ends up being that depression and anxiety type symptoms that actually come in, and they're going to be very different for different people. They're going to be at different intensities from different people, and I really do believe that there is much more depression and anxiety that can be prevented in this day and age, because it's a lot of it is brought on by circumstance and what we believe about ourselves, the world, and others, and really what we really need in our lives isn't that new car, it isn't that new house, it isn't the perfect partner, it isn't the perfect children, because there's no such thing as perfect. And when we compare ourselves to others on Facebook and other social media, then we get to that point where we then start becoming quite dissatisfied with what we've got. But actually, if we look to what we do have and who we do have around about us, the majority of us do actually have an abundance of love and purpose in our lives. We have just forgotten what that is. And so I really do believe that we need to be teaching people to actually live their lives. I don't think as many people need to be in therapy as the media would have you believe. I really do wholeheartedly believe that, and my belief has come from experience, and actually I am actually qualified. So I'm not just talking out of a hole. I have actually studied this, and it's my job, and so I do not offer therapy with my art sessions, but I do have a lot of really very good knowledge and experience from working in that side of things. I would stress at this point, because we're talking about mental health, if anybody is watching who does struggle with their mental health, please seek help. Please go and speak to a professional if you feel that is what you need. I am not offering therapy. Yes, it is my job, but this is not I'm not doing my job here in this video. It's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to demonstrate painting. I'm more than happy to have a discussion about mental well-being and mental health, because at the end of the day we all have it, and we can't always be happy 24/7. So I hope that has resonated with some people, and may have helped them to really look at their own lives and what they can perhaps be looking at as and identifying the good that is in their lives. Well, see, Susan, whilst I can appreciate what you're saying and I agree in principle on what you're saying, I don't actually believe that there are side effects of painting. I think that we find purpose in painting. I'm not sure that the language of side effects is the most appropriate, but I agree in the sense that yes, what we gain out of painting is wonderful. One of the there's lots of different things that happen when you paint, depending on what kind of painting it is that you're doing. You can potentially go into quite a meditative state. When you're meditating, there is lots and lots of research that is available that actually tells you how beneficial meditation is, and whether that be that you're concentrating on a painting or not, then you're still getting that therapeutic benefit from meditation. Again, there's lots of research that would suggest that you can meditate regardless of who you are. You do not have to be an expert monk in order to be able to benefit from being able to meditate. So I'm not talking just sitting and saying Aum. I'm talking the meditative state that you can get into when you're painting. So when you're concentrating, the other thing that it does is it stops you, because you're concentrating. You see, the way our brains work, we can't think of two things at the same time. So when we're having thoughts, that's why our thoughts can sometimes feel quite racy, because our thoughts and look, I'm waving my hands now because I'm you can't see me, but I can be quite expressive when I'm talking. And when our thoughts feel racy, it's because we have different thoughts in our head and we can't think of the same thought at the same time. So we can't think of more than one thought at a time. So it goes from one thought to another thought to another thought. And that is that's exactly why our brains feel a little like a washing machine sometimes. But it's okay, Susan. I totally understand where you are coming from. And if you want to use the words side effects, then that's entirely up to yourself. It's your choice, Susan. It's your vocabulary. It's I'm not here to try and take away from what you think. I hope I can enhance what you're thinking, but by no means do I want to take away. And that I love that is your happy place. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having a happy place. And if painting is that, then fantastic. I love it. Painting for me is relaxing. It's enjoyable. I love the process. Not only do I paint, but I am a photographer as well. So I take photographs. I really enjoy being creative. I crochet, I knit, and I read, and these are all things I like to go out in nature. I love going for walks and just listening to nature, hearing the birds, etc. But I'm kind of, do you know, that's still tacky. I'm kind of rabbiting on now. Yes, absolutely. Mona, believe it. I'm always telling you to believe in yourself, Mona. I believe in you. Denise has bought a Buddha statue to do the part. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that either. I like yoga. I actually really enjoy doing yoga. I find it very relaxing. I also meditate as well. So not only do I paint to get some meditation type vibes, but I also meditate as well. And I also look after what I eat, my body with what I eat as well. So yeah, Carrie's saying that her counsellor has told her to fake it till I make it in regarding self-confidence. And yes, the way our brains work is that when we learn to do something, so whether that be learning to drive a car, learning to paint, learning any skill, it's a bit like making a bridge from rope. So, you could potentially, you would, if you were doing a rope over a chasm, a rope bridge, right, you would put one piece across. That would be your start. And, it's a bit wobbly. If you were to try and go over it, you would be kind of sort of wobbling. You wouldn't be able to you'd be tentative if you were to walk, because you would have to tight rope across, wouldn't you? But the more you do stuff, so you're kind of wobbling over the tight rope, but you're taking another rope with you. And then you wobble back again and you take another rope. And then you weave it. And then you keep backwards and forwards. So you're keeping repeating. And what they've just discovered is that the brain doesn't differentiate between you actually doing the action and whether you are visualizing that activity in your brain. And so what can happen is that your brain will then continue to make these journeys to and from across the chasm to make a much more sturdier rope bridge, so the brain can access the memory so much easier. So there will be less wobbling. And so therefore a little bit of thank you, Dina. Thank you very much. So a little bit of action as well as visualization will help with hand-eye coordination. It will help with muscle memory. It helps with so many different things. But the one thing I will say, although visualizing does help, you can't just learn to paint without actually doing it. Yes, you could potentially get that memory to be reasonably strong, but it wouldn't be that strong because there's not enough rope to go over the chasm if you're only visualizing it. But what they are saying is that when you visualize as well as use the activity, and I'll give you an example. I watched a documentary about it, and they actually showed you a gymnast, and they were a very good gymnast, but they were trying to learn a much more complicated move. And what had actually happened was they couldn't do it. They just couldn't grab the bar. They did their twists and their turns, and they were trying to grab the bar at the end, and they just kept missing the bar. They were just falling short of it. So what the coach did is got the gymnast to go away and visualize catching that bar. And that then helped her brain to work out the distances. And when she came back and tried her new move again, she actually caught on to the bar. Yes, there is memory in the muscles. Absolutely, Susan, you're right on. You're spot on with that, and that's why it's important that we have to actually do the action. Because whilst we can visualize us doing the action, the actual the visual in our head is not as strong as when we see our hands doing the action. So yes, visualization will help, but it can't be the only thing. Wow, I've gone off in big tangent today, haven't I? I hope that that is actually of use. Dina is saying, and positive thoughts are so important for our well-being. Yes, you are so right, Dina, absolutely. We have to accept that we do have negative thoughts. We're never, ever, ever going to stop negative thoughts. They're always going to be there. Hello, Kaylee. Hi, welcome. I get negative thoughts sometimes, and that's part of being human. We have them. The trick is not to focus on them or to make them more than they actually are. So that's why it's so important to have a purpose and to have activities that our go-to activities. So whether that be reading, whether it be painting, drawing, taking photographs and spending hours in Photoshop like I do, it's up to us what we actually do. Wow, I hope I haven't spoken too much now, because I really only was talking to allow the painting to dry, so that I can get on with the next part. Singing, yes, absolutely. Singing is another activity. And again, singing, it's going to produce those feel-good hormones and pop them into your brain. And life's good. Life can be so good, and we can make it good. We are in control of our own destinies. We are in control. I mean, there's lots of different examples. Denise says, ha ha ha, Tanya, we would not grow without negative somewhere. A car needs a battery and a negative and a positive energy to start and run. Absolutely, spot on. See, we're on point tonight with our analogies, aren't we? We are so with it. Absolutely. I certainly have a very creative bunch that I hang out with, and I think it's awesome. And speaking of hanging out with creative bunches, just quickly before I go back to the painting, if anybody isn't already a member of the Creative Tartanite Tribe, that I do have a Facebook group called the Creative Tartanite Tribe, and Mona is usually on the ball, and I'm sure she will pop up a link for it. If you're not already a member and would like to hang out with us, please do so. We've got a challenge going on at the moment in a group if you wanted to join in. We are all about Journaling Journey July this month. But that's not to say that we only concentrate on the journaling in group. If there's other creativity activities that you've actually on the go, then feel free to share them share photographs and things in the group. It's all about sharing creativity. It's all about living a creative life in the Creative Tartanite Tribe. So that being said, let me get back to the painting. Right, so I'm going to grab a couple of more paint colours. I think I will go with the Process Magenta. Let me get that out. There we go. A little bit of Process Magenta. Now, if you like sort of meditative type painting and things, I do actually have a few videos. They're older videos now, but they are Meditation Monday videos. I did start a little series and I got out of the habit of doing them. Maybe I might bring them back if there's enough interest in them, but they are available. still on my video, on my channel, and you get a nice relaxing voiceover whilst me demonstrating how to paint in a manner that is quite relaxing and meditative. So that's done in a journal. Oh, sorry. Did somebody not hear me? Yes, magenta. It's process magenta. And I'm also going to put out some of this violet. This is a pain in the bottom with this one because the lid broke, and so I don't always it can be quite difficult to actually get, so I have one of these to poke a hole to get the paint out. If I can get it to, it might not go out this time because it's really stuck now. Oh, I think I might have got a little hole. Nope, okay, I give up. I'm not using that. I'm going to use something else instead. In fact, I'm going to mix the colours. I'm going to mix some of my blues with the magenta. In fact, the phthalo blue with magenta makes an amazing purple. So let me show you that. If I mix a little bit of, hang on, there we go. If I mix a little bit of the phthalo blue with the magenta, isn't that just a lovely purple? Oh, you can't really see. It looks blue in the camera. Oh well. Anyway, you just need to take my word for it. It makes a really nice purple. So that can do for our shadows. Right. So back to the painting. I think Dina likes to hear that word magenta in different accents, but maybe she left already. Susan says, oh yes, I just checked. I first saw your videos because of the ATCs, which I found I couldn't part with mine, so trading was out for me. Stingy girl me. Oh well. Providing that you enjoyed painting them or drawing them or whatever your medium of choice was for doing your ATCs, and that's all that matters really at the end of the day, isn't it? If you enjoyed them, then that's what really matters. Right. Okay, so we're looking at really working loose today. So I'm going to mix it up a little bit, and I'm actually going to use a flat brush. I'm going to use a square-ended brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of my magenta, and I'm going to grab some of that white, and I've managed to get a little bit of the phthalo blue in beside that, and it's made more of a kind of a lilac-y pink. And so now I'm really just going to just kind of think about where I want and what size I want my balloon to be. Now I think that might be just a little bit too small, so I'm going to expand it just a little bit more. And notice how I'm going over the clouds. I'm just going to, now that I've got the actual shape, I'm going to use shorter, can't get my words out. After all that big long speech and getting all my words out, I can't get my words out now. I'm going to use some of the blues and shorter strokes to really give that painterly vibe. And when you think about a round object, you're going to have your darker sides and then you're going to have your lighter. Like so. So you can see that the balloon is starting to come together. And then down the bottom, we've got that triangular bit, like so. So we've got the knot. So there we go. And I'll probably just add a bit more of the purple at the side, but that might be just a bit too much, so I'm going to just dull it down just a bit more. Well, not so much dull it down, but make it a bit pinker. So there we go. Just kind of just messing about with it now. Just adding the different colours. There we go. Now, hopefully you can see that okay, guys. So Susan was saying I was spending hours on them, so a lot of time invested in those little things. Yes, ATCs can take a long time to paint. Definitely much more fiddly. Now, as much as I like that colour, I'm actually, for the feel of the painting, it's not really light and airy enough for me. So I am going to go back over, I'm going to take the pink and I'm going to grab the white, and I'm actually going to go over it. Because it's really not light and airy enough for me. So I'm going to actually lighten it on this side and keep it a little bit darker on the other. There we go. There. That's a little bit more airy, isn't it? And it's fine. Sometimes you can get the colours right first time, and then other times you're like, yeah, I'm not liking that colour. But that's okay. That's perfectly okay. So there we go. And I'm thinking as well that although I've got the light highlights there, I'm thinking that the light is potentially going to be bouncing off the edge here. So I'm going to do that a little bit lighter. So there we go. That is that. And then I'm simply going to put in the ribbon. Like that. And that's it. It's done. That is very, very simple, very effective painting. We've got a single balloon on a background of a sky with some clouds. And the whole time I was being very light with my brush strokes. Just let me bring it forward a little bit. Let's see if I can. There we go. Hopefully you can see that okay. You can see that the brush strokes are there. And pop that back again. Maybe turn that light round just a little bit. There we go. Oh, sorry. Denise is saying that balloon looks so real, I want to pop it with a needle. So you're a balloon popper, are you? Right, let me grab the camera. Okay, there we go. Hello. I hope you enjoyed that. I did definitely go off on a little bit of a tangent, but hopefully it was useful information. Mona says, making note not to stand next to Denise when there's a balloon around. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. So there we go. That's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciated it. I really enjoyed myself. I was feeling really quite tired when I came in from work. I had something to eat, and I was a bit kind of, I don't know if it's going to be a good live. And we were a bit touch and go at the beginning, but the stream seemed to be nice. So all those healing sparkles that were sent out into the universe to help heal the stream has helped. It's done it. So thank you. Yeah. Any last questions before I go? Because I'm going to go, and I think I might read actually. Susan, you are most welcome, and thank you for bringing up such a really good topic. I really do enjoy chatting with people. And I really enjoy hearing different opinions and, adding to the conversation. It's nice when it's not just me talking. It's nice to get some feedback from other people too. So thank you. Angie said, it sorted itself out, or Mona scared it straight. Indeed. So thank you. If there's no other questions, I am going to bid you a good evening, because for me it is 9 o'clock and for Mona it's 10 o'clock in the evening. So Mona, as always, absolutely fantastic job moderating, and I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds to allow for the time difference to see if there's any questions before I go. But I suspect that yous are all questioned out, because we did our little question session in the middle when we were waiting on the painting to dry. Also, Susan, you're in California, are you? Fantastic. Katie, thank you so much for being in on the live. You are awesome. So take care, everybody. Bye for now. Let me find my mouse. Bye. Remember, look after your mental well-being, because only you can.